welcome to my stream. Uh, we are back after a little bit of a hiatus, not from me doing artwork, but just from me doing Twitch. Hi there, welcome back. We are back after a little bit of a hiatus, just because I had so many pieces of art to drop off and take care of last week for festivals and shows. I have been doing a lot in between. As you can see, I've got my Angry Princess that I did from 13 Ghosts. I'm pretty happy with her. I want to try to do the Jackal and the Juggernaut and some of the others as well. So that's a possibility. Let me show you what else I've been working on. So I've got this piece I finished up. This is Forest King. It's got my trademark detail ink work, and then watercolor, and of course shinies, Clear colors, and rose gold. And then I have Moon Magic. This one is going up on Etsy in just a few minutes. Each of these are $30, and then I'll have prints in the shop later on today. So if you're looking for a good Valentine's Day gift, I can rush shipping if you let me know, and I will definitely get that to you ASAP. So just tell me what you need, and if you like these, let me know, and I will definitely do more, because I've really enjoyed doing these intricate skull pieces with these occult symbols with them as well, and the shiny bits. It's kind of mixing my two styles together, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far. So that's a thing. If you like what you see when you're watching my channel, remember you can always go to Morbid Smile on Etsy, Morbid Smile Art on Facebook. Twitter has to be ridiculous, so I'm morbid, comma, I'm smile, sorry, I'm tired. It's smile _ morbid on Twitter. But yeah, there's a lot of other things you can check out. So let me adjust the camera a little bit so we can get some better shots of the art pieces. There we go. So today I'm trying to decide what I want to work on. I kind of think I want to work on more of the Black Zodiac. Really like the way Angry Princess turned out. It's kind of anime style Black Zodiacs. So I kind of am thinking of doing some more. I started this off as like an inkblot study. So I made like different colors of ink and I just worked around them. So hers just happened to be red. I used this Rouge Cabernet color by Herbin. It's a beautiful, luxurious red color, and you can get very light ink washes, and you can also get really deep reds. And I just loved how it came out. And I thought, I'd just seen 13 Ghosts the other day, and I thought, you know what? It would be really cool if I did the Angry Princess, because she's one of my favorites. And it's not because she's naked. A lot of people are like, oh, she's the token nude. That's not what I liked about her. What I liked about her was just, she's so pissed. And for emo teenage me, college age me when this came out, oh boy, this really resonated. So I I don't know. And also the special effects, like the makeup effects in that movie are so damn good. And I always love ghosts anyway, so let me see. I'm gonna try to see who else I can work with. We've got the Jackal is my second favorite, right after Angry Princess. And I really would like to be able to work with him. So let me see if I can find a good reference picture so I can see what he's gonna look like. Yeah. Okay. Oh, buddy, you always look so sad. It's mostly the cage I have to reference here because I've seen this movie enough times that I know what they look like. Um, I've been a little obsessed with this movie for a little while, so y'all pardon me, I'm a little sad. Uh, so I don't know. The Jackal always reminded me of like if the Joker went horribly wrong. I've really liked. I have a cosplay in mind eventually to do a crossplay with the Joker and the Jackal because I think that would be really interesting. And that head cage and the straitjacket look just intrigues me. But let me find a good reference image for the head cage. That's not a cosplay. Wow, lots of people cosplay this character. That's really cool. I'm glad a lot of people do that. There we go. Okay. Jackal is so cool. If you haven't seen this movie, you should just Google it real fast and just take a look at like what these characters look like because oh damn, they look really interesting. All right, I think I like this one. Gives me a good view of the cage. It's the hard part. Is finding a view of the cage itself. Because it is like an accessory, but it's also like very distinctive for him. That and the look of his straitjacket. His straitjacket is really not like a standard straitjacket. It's very old-fashioned, and I don't know. So I'm gonna get one of my erasable pencils, and I'm gonna keep all my colors to like blues and purples because I'm gonna be using this Poussiere de Lune J. Herbin ink. This is in purple. Again, this is the luxurious, beautiful purple. Oh my god, I need more of these inks. They're for fountain pens, but I love using them for dip pens. They're absolutely gorgeous. I never use the little the little rests they have on the side here. I just never do that, but it's alright. So let's see. This may turn out fucking awful, but it may be cool too. So who knows? But just like these little dots right here, I just did some ink spatters, and these little dots right here reminded me of a smile. Like this one just looked like blood spatter to me. So I'm thinking Jackal. Here. So let's see. Let me give him a face first. And I like drawing out the whole face, and then I will come back in afterwards and add in some more details. So I'm gonna give him that hunched kind of look. I want this to like blot over his eyes, and then I'll give him like some creepy details in here, but the head cage is gonna be like in white, so that way it like really stands out, or maybe even silver. So let's see. let me get my, like a straight edge here, and we're gonna do so his head comes here, the head cage comes to about here. So let me get this in. Oop. It's so weird to me that this would be a solution. This is based on actual punishments that were used on the mentally ill back in the not so great heyday of psychology, when it was sort of a Wild West instead of actual science. There was a lot of bullshit that happened in the world of psychology. And that isn't to say that psychology is bad, because I myself suffer from depression, and I am always very, very grateful that I have medication now to help me through that, because if I didn't, I would probably not be able to function. But it doesn't discount a lot of the horrible things that happen in the past. It's always good to learn from the past. I always found the old-timey stuff that people did in the name of science and religion very interesting. That's just me. I just think that kind of stuff is kind of it's not okay. It's not cool, but it's fascinating. Fascinating is the word. Okay, so I'm gonna add some little rivets here, and then he has more rivets that come down. Let me add one here and one here, and then we'll come over here and add one on the 4 and on the 6. Little bitty rivets. I just want them to be even because it's a freaking box around his head, and it's gonna be real obvious if it's not accurate, if that makes sense. 3, and let's go with 5.5. Three, 5.5. Let's make these little circles. Okay. And I have some leeway with these, but these rivets are the things that are holding the head cage. So we're gonna add these little curved areas. We'll fix them up more later. And now I've got to do his face. And I always liked to think, like, if I saw this in an anime, he'd have some sharp teeth. So that's where we're gonna go. That's where his eyes would be. Here's his chin, and I think his eye might be a little bit lower than that. That works. Okay, so you're here, and then we have the crazy freaking hair. And we also have these buckles that are about here. And we take these down. Okay. It's got a couple of other rivets here, which I'll go through and I'll fix up later. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see what we get when we start working on adding some more ink. Now I took a little while with the last one. Oh, wait a minute. We gotta do some perspective here. That's gonna be kind of important. I may or may not have all of these little details later. They may get hidden, but it'll help me to know where they are. Okay, yeah, that works. Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So let me grab my Poussiere de Lune. So practicing my French. I love French. French is like one of my favorite languages. That and Japanese. I really do enjoy the sound of Japanese. But I'm not as confident in it. So yeah. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of, I have some watercolor here that I had mixed up for a previous project. And one of these nice little like ceramic dishes I got from the thrifts from the antique store. They were a little broken, and some of the detailing had been rubbed off over time, so I don't feel bad using them as watercolor pieces. Don't break up a set if you're going to use something like that, but it is really nice to be able to come in and have, you know, stuff like that to use. So I'm going to grab some of the Rouge Cavalier, and I'm going to water it down a little bit in my dish over here, just so I can do a little bit of a light wash, because this is a very, very concentrated pigment. And I'm going to come in, test it a little. Yeah, see how nice that looks? I'm going to come in and do some detailing. Let me erase some of this a little so it's not so dark. I can still see the lines. This way I know where I'm going to be working, and I have my general outline there. Okay. All right. I'm always nervous when I have to put down the first thing. It like weirds me out, so I have to kind of just get up the courage and go, you know. And with ink, you have to work very quickly. Go over his smile, so I'm gonna lighten that up in a bit. Let me get some nice bits for his straight jacket. Now, yes, ink is gonna reactivate. I see people say all the time, oh yeah, this ink doesn't reactivate, it's waterproof. From all I can tell, that's bullshit. I have been working with ink for years, and I have never found one that doesn't reactivate when you like utterly soak it in water. That's just my experience, but I've never seen that happen. Every time I've used ink, it always reactivates. So the benefit of this is, because I have this ink blot here, I can bring some of my water really close to the edge, and I can get some nice shadows. And the downside is, of course, that it is going to reactivate. Now I'm going to come back with some more of my ink, and I'm going to add some little shadow areas. I haven't even gotten to his hair yet. Don't worry, it's a coming. This is still with the watered down version. I want to get his cage and the idea that he's hunched over. Okay, so now let me dry my brush, because I don't want to get water in my ink well. I'm gonna let that dry for a second. I'm trying to decide what I want to do his eye in, because I want like part of this eye to show. What I'll probably do is a little bit of black ink. I'll use like a micron pen. Let me see. My 005 died yesterday, my micron, so I'll have to use my Prismacolor one. Shout out to my friend Laura for giving me all these Prismacolors. That one's just a little clogged. She gave me a ton of these cute little Prismacolor pens because she wasn't using them. And my God, they are so nice to have. And I use them all the time. So thank you. This is fantastic to have stuff like that. Okay, just testing things, making sure these work. I may need my, just a second. Yeah, I needed this for Angry Princess just to add some extra shadow. This is a FaberCastell Pitt artist pen in cold gray. I like being able to use those just to add like some nice gray shadows. I will probably be using also my Dr. P.H. Martin's Hrydrus white. This is good for some highlights, and then I have pen white as well. I'm trying to decide how to do the metal cage, and I think I have an idea. Stop me if you think this is dumb, but I could do it in this metal Calero color, but I'm afraid that'll take away too much from his look. No, I won't do it. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna do that. I want the cage to be, I want this to be very sketch-like, to kind of help to represent his animalistic nature. Okay, so see, ink is already dry. Again, this is why I like using inks. They're like, oh, did you need this dry? Boom, dry. Good job. So let me get some more of my ink out. I like to dab it on an extra thing, just to get some, just to make sure I'm not gonna dip a whole ton of it on the thing. So, and then I'm gonna just do some hair. I like it to be kind of raised up, like he's, and if you're watching anime and you see people like with some unnatural power, they're kind of like, I don't know, charging their laser or something. Their hair gets all like weird and floaty, and I like that look. He kind of looks like Ryuk right now, which is kind of hilarious. Oh, Jackal, why are you so funny? Okay. So, he also has like a standard, like, he has a cute little hair that comes in the front because I don't know reasons. So I'm gonna let that dry. And while that's drying, clean my brush out, make sure it doesn't dry in the brush. And while that's drying, I'm gonna come back in and I'm gonna do some details on his face. And I'm going to use these because all of these do not fade in water. I don't like to use anything that's going to fade in water with inks because you never know when they're going to smear, and that can be like a freaking disaster. So, okay, so here's his chin, here's his mouth. Gonna get that in. I want to keep him very anime-ish, so I'm not going to give him like lines for his teeth. The more lines you give him, the more like creepy. I mean, he's going to look creepy, but you don't want him to look too weird, because who's the star of this anime? I'm pretty sure it's the ghosts. Okay, so now I get to come in and do the cage again, but this time in ink. So now I'm gonna add these rivets that I put in earlier, and then I'm gonna add like this curve. So each one of these rivets has a gate attached to it. So the cool thing is that I can cover a lot of it up with ink later, but I want to get a lot of the connections in now, so that I can see where everything is going to be, where the structure is. And I went over that line like a dummy. Okay, that's fine. Oh, Jackal, forgive me. Not gonna lie, I thought he was hot when I was younger. Oh, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Nobody thinks this is hot, y'all. Nobody thinks this is hot. Except weird me. So fun thought experiment. Can you imagine if these ghosts like lived in the same like world as like Beetlejuice, and then like and Juno the caseworker is just like, where have you been? You were captured by a human. Never trust the living. That would just be funny. I don't know why that just occurred to me, but it entertains me. So, alright, so he's got some raggedy ass clothes because he's, you know, a raggedy ass dude. Let's just be honest. Sorry, Jackal, but you raggedy. Don't think he gives a shit. Let's just be honest. And goes right here. Let's make it a little bigger. And goes right here. And goes right here. And let's give some more raggedy ass shit, because he's a raggedy ass dude. He has some serious problems. So, he also has a lot of straps that are hanging off him on the side, and they usually hang down. I am going to animate them a little, because I want them to be, like, creepy. I don't know, I just think it'd be kind of cool for them to be a little more animated. See how that kind of looks right there? I think that looks kind of cool. So let's come over here, give him another one. Creepy ghost, creepy ghost. That one's way too neat and tidy considering who this dude is. This is a guy who like tried to chew through his own bonds, and he's also not a role model. He's not a role model, but tell that to teenage me. I'm kind of weird sometimes. Alright, let me get some nice folds on his clothes. Let him be kind of, he a raggedy ass dude. He's also in a very tight outfit, because it's a freaking straitjacket, and that's not cool. You know what, I'm gonna bring some of these up and let them just look creepy and interesting. Because right now they're kind of boring. So shit, this is what I get for making too many ink blots on the page. Well, I have to incorporate that somehow. We'll find out. Bring this down. He has a an interesting little buckle piece here. Because, you know, bondage. Oh God. There we go. Poor old Jackal. It really sucks to be him. Okay, and then this has Another strap. That's going to go off the page. Okay, so give him his arms. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to leave him like that. That's going to be the majority of my line work right there. Now I'm going to come back in and let's add some more purple. Because we need to get a lot of this hair looking a lot darker. In fact, I think I'm going to trade brushes. Get a thicker one. Looks like he's wearing a fancy hat. I don't know if I like that. Oh boy. We'll see. Add a little bit more of this dark color. Let it just kind of flood. I'm trying to make it too structured and I need to just let it be. It's the Jackal. I need to calm down. For this kind of wacky style, I need to let him be just himself. Let it go where it needs to go. Okay. So we're going to come back in. Now I'm going to use a little bit of my watercolor mixture. And I'm going to add that to his straight jacket a bit in places. And I'm going to let it freely blend with the ink because I want that to happen. I like that effect. No, that black spatter is definitely still a mistake, but that's okay because it's gonna add some interesting like wash to this. shit. I knew that was gonna happen. Accidentally used my inkwell instead of my not watercolor. Welp. I was gonna switch to lavender anyway. Y'all get to see I am awesome. Okay. Lavender I'm going to put on these straps. This is the Daniel Smith lavender. See that smearing black ink? That's from this spatter. And these spatters I made with ink that people on the internet said didn't smear. So just this has been sitting here for over a day underneath the heater. So explain to me, reviewers on Amazon, why you say things don't smear when it is clear that all ink smears. Unless you're using a special pen. I have never found a dip pen ink that does not smear in water. Prove me wrong. Give me some good advice, because I could use it. Okay, I don't need my reference picture anymore. So, oh, thank you. Let me type in a thank you in case you're not. There you go. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry I didn't see. I was using my reference on the other window. That's what I get for tabbing out. Ha ha ha. My bad. Yeah, I love the Jackal. I think he's cool. And I do want him to like look as cool to other people as I envision him. Okay, this is where we're gonna get a lot of smearing. I'm gonna have to just roll with it. There we go. Now I clean my brush. Keep just cleaning that brush is like the freaking key, cause holy shit, it's gonna make a mess. And that's just how it is. See how we get a nice gradient with that? Turns out alright, doesn't it? Come back, grab some more of this, and I'm just gonna let this smear all over the place, cause fuck it, it's the Jackal. He doesn't care. He legit does not care. This man, and according to the behind the scenes stuff, or the backstory for all the ghosts, he when the place caught on fire, he's like, oh, just stay behind, it's fine. Though I would say it's debatable, considering how he'd been treated up until that point, whether he chose to stay behind or whether he was abandoned in the hospital. I'm sure there's a fanfic about it somewhere. I'm sure someone's done that. Internet, don't disappoint me. I know there's got to be something like that around here. All this in here. I kind of like the black splatter over there because it's really like helping me get some interesting shading effects, so I'm okay with it. It's really kind of I'm kind of digging it. Mixed with the watercolor and the purple ink, it's turned out kind of cool, so no complaints here, Chief. Just have to re-wet my brush constantly, but it's not that unusual. Every time I'm applying some of my Daniel Smith lavender as well, just to keep that color wash mixture consistent. I have to clean up some areas out here, but that's okay. Just plain water, just to get that softer effect. Soften it out. Okay. I think he looks kind of neat. Okay, so now this is the part where it gets kind of tricky, because as I start adding more watercolors, there is always a chance that it is not going to take, and it's just going to look like a goofy mess. But there's also the chance it's going to look good. So I have no idea. Boop, 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 boop. So I know this is going on kind of thick, but it's going to dry really light and see-through, and it's just going to give him that nice pale complexion. He really does look very much like Hrydrus. I completely agree with you on that. I dig it. I think he looks pretty cool. Like, I'd watch a series about him. I would legit watch a series about the 13 Ghosts. Make it happen. Somebody. Some rich executive somewhere. Just make it like Drawn Together or something, except with like the 13 Ghosts. Okay. I'm going to add just a teeny bit of this also into his eye area. So I want his eyes to be like creepy. It's going to dry really pale, but this will give me a base when I can go back with my gel pen and clean it up a little bit. Okay. Picking up some more of my ink. Getting his little leather bondage thing in. And go back over this with the lilac. Not lilac, lavender. So I can get that. That went on way more thick than I wanted it to. Let's just drag this over here. There we go. wanted shading, not a lump. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna do the head cage in a base of this lavender color. And then I'll probably go back over it. I like the idea of this being kind of consistent with the straps. Doop 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 doop. There we go. Getting there. It would be better if the metal pieces on his outfit like curled outward, but that also doesn't make as much sense, so I understand, but it's also just really frustrating because it looks like he's in a picture frame and I'm not sure if I like that or not. These two looks creepy. He's in a really cool anime. That's good. Do I like it? I'm not sure yet. Can it grow on me? Of course. We're still working, so anything can happen. Gonna shade in some of these areas too, because I wanted to have this sense of claustrophobia. Okay. I'm gonna grab some more of my ink, come in and add some shadows. Adding shadows around his eye. is gonna stay. That's okay. The sad thing about the Jackal, if you watch the behind the scenes stuff, the ghost backstories, is that originally he knew he had a problem and he committed himself. And then they forgot why he was there because he lost his mind and they tortured him basically. And so he's just in there in this lunatic asylum. And he had been doing the right thing and actively trying to seek help. And I think that's the saddest part, is that he becomes like this weird archetype. He didn't have to be that way. This is just what happened to him, what was done to him. I think that's probably why I liked him, because suffering from mental illness as a kid, that was always like my fear, is that somehow I would be like, if I did admit to having a mental illness, that something would, happen to me, that I would cease to be like a valid part of society, if that makes sense. Not like I would do anything like the Jackal, but like it's that same kind of, it taps into that fear of being forgotten and isolated, I guess. Okay, gonna let that dry a little bit and we'll see how that ink layer looks. So far I think he looks pretty good. I'm not not unhappy with him at all. While we wait, I'm going to look up what his symbol is, because each of the ghosts has a symbol for this imaginary thing they called the Black Zodiac. So it really is cool, because I occasionally see people who think it's real. It's like, no, this was just made up for the movie, but I'm glad you enjoy it. Okay, so the jackals. Shit, I did not mean to open link in new tab. Just open image in new tab. Does that happen to you all the time? Happens to me all the time. Okay. So that's what I put here beside the angry princess. That's her symbol. And I'm gonna paint it up here in the purple, and then I'll go back over it in the black so that it really stands out. But first, I am going to take a watercolor pencil, and I am gonna pencil it out, because I know how this works. This is not always a thing that works in my favor. So let me take like a very light blue, and let's see if I can get a good. Okay, so it looks like an interesting H. There's a okay. And then there's a I feel like that's a little too far down. The J part should be higher, and so it should be smaller, really. Okay, so let's bring this, and let's get the J part's going to be about here. And we have whoop, whoop, and then whoop. There we go. Okay. So let me now come back with my purple and now I'll go and erase the little pencil marks. There. I dig it. Okay. So he's got his little symbol there. Let me show you. What do you guys think so far? I think he looks pretty nifty. He looks like a vampire. But that's okay. Like, I mean, he does prey on other people and stuff like that, so that's kind of his thing. I do like his zodiac symbol. I'm very, very much liking the way he's turning out. So he's drying. getting there. Got to figure out how I want to do this cage now, because that's a thing. What I might do is keep it simple and just come in with some regular purple again, his color that I'm using, that I've chosen for him, and just kind of add some details that way. Because I don't want the focus to be on just the cage. I want it to be on him looking creepy. And give it a sketch feel. I'm just pulling some lines through it and not worrying about what happens to the structure of the individual rivets. Okay, so now I get to wait for that to dry. But his eye can use some work, so that's what I'm going to do next. Let me dry this off. Now I am going to get my pen white, Dr. P.H. Martin's. I'm going to put a lid on my purple so I don't accidentally screw it up by dipping white paint into it, because that would be freaking awful and I would probably cry. So let's see. Now what I want is, he looks too nice right now. I want to give him like mostly white around his eye and a tiny little dot of like that pinprick look for his pupil. So we go in here, very carefully painting. Carefully. good place to put this where you guys can still see. Is that okay? Yeah, you can. Can you still see with that? Yes, good. Okay. Gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Okay. I like the highlight on the rivets. I like it on the little bondage chains that he's wearing. The restraints, bondage chains. I mean, not wrong, but I wonder if I should do his writing in actual, like, instead of black, do it in white. I probably should. Angry Princesses was black because hers is red. This one probably needs a different tone of touch. I think that looks pretty cool. Still not happy with his his face. But hopefully that'll change. I'm gonna come back in with some more of the purple and see if I can darken this up a little bit. Now that I've got that nice white base down for his eye. And it looks dry now, so let's get a thicker micron pen. This is a micron, this is a micron number 1. Let's go with the Prismacolor 03. Yeah, that looks much better. Now he's creepy as shit. Gonna shape his eye a little bit. Here we go. That's helping. His face was too rounded. That was a problem. come back with, where is that one I was using? Oh, there it is, right in front of me. Come on, ink. I'm not gonna go full concentration, just wash level. I'm trying to decide if he's done or if I need to add more. I kind of like the sketchy look of him. I think I'm going to turn this ink blot into more like hair. Because I think it makes it look like he's wearing a hat. And I don't like that. Because he's not wearing a hat. He can't fit a hat in a head cage. Brain. My brain's like, no, it's a hat, look. Okay, I think he's done. I'm gonna add a little bit more color on the outside of his symbol on that first letter, because I want it to be readable. And I just went right over the white like a moron, because that's how I roll apparently. Cool. Though maybe it'll give it an interesting faded effect. Okay, as well make it match. Make it match, kids. That's how you make it look intentional. Ha 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 ha. No, but actually that tones it down quite a bit. That actually looks a lot better. See how it dries. Thoroughly liking him though. I think he looks really cute and fucking crazy, which is good. He's like a goddamn lunatic, as he should. So I think it's ready to sign. Let me find a pen. I'm going to probably continue with the Black Zodiacs. I'm really enjoying the way they're turning out. Kind of thinking of it as like a really creepy horror anime. With Angry Princess over here. And then, hang on, I move this thing. It's in the way. And then the, good old Jackal. I like him. I think he turned out really nice. I like the gradients. I like the mix of purples. I like that there is some black used, but it's mostly purple. Even the dark color of his hair is a really dark purple. If you enjoyed this, if you liked this, let me know. I'm happy to make prints of these. I'm thinking I probably will make some prints of these and make them available in my Etsy shop. They'd be a cute set, especially since I'm planning on making more. Our Angry Princess needs a torn prints, for example. Like, share, subscribe. I'm going to be putting this up on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to also, well, as a speed painting, and then I'm also going to be I'm going to post these things up around. When I do make them prints, I'll announce that on my Facebook or my Twitter or my Instagram page. So make sure you go and follow me so you can keep up with all the stuff and make suggestions to me about what you want to see. All right, well, thanks for watching. I super appreciate it, and I'll see you Wednesday.